Okay, let's be real. We all know social media. It's all a well known way for friends and random people online, as well as yourself, to socialize from the comforts of your bed. You can chat, post photos, send shitty videos, and also scroll for hours without realizing that 20 hours have passed and you've missed breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you are now starving. And you also and you've missed breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, I'm sure a majority of people use social media as well as myself. You've got videos on TikTok, longer videos on YouTube, and photos and more videos on Instagram. Though I think I'm missing one. Which one am I missing though? I'm trying to come up with the social media apps in my head and I just can't really think of them. Let's see, there's Snapchat, send photos to your friend, streaks. Ah, there's there's Reddit, and what's the other one I'm thinking of? Oh, right. I remember. It's Twitter. Actually, it's called X, not Twitter. Twitter. That's the one I was forgetting. There are honestly multiple reasons why I didn't want to include or mention Twitter. The main reason is because I just don't like it. I don't like Twitter, but I highly doubt I'm unique in that sense. Twitter is, in my utmost opinion, one of the worst social media platforms. It's got so many problematic people. Honestly, if you scroll long enough, you will find someone that is problematic in one way or another. Let me tell you, being part of a specific community of Twitter has got to be one of the worst experiences in my life. It started off fine with me making some cool and chill new friends. I even started a new hobby that I never expected to start from that community. And for the record, this was a Fortnite art community. Yes, I know Fortnite really cringe, but I that's where I started art. It was terrible. I wish I never did because my art was horrible. Over time, I realized it was a hassle trying to be a completely different person compared to the other friends. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Over time, I realized it was a major hassle trying to be a completely different person being with these people from Twitter than with the friends that I already had from meeting on games or just IRL in school. Plus, over time, many started to get canceled for things like grooming and such. It doesn't help that someone I considered a friend also got canceled for being a groomer. Now, some people will know who this is, and I apologize greatly for reminding you. I know it's a. I know it's traumatic remembering this dude. Trust me, I hate it as much as you guys because I introduced you guys to him. So if you're someone who remembers or knows who I'm talking about, I deeply apologize. But overall, being a part of this community, it was not a great environment at all. So I took my chances and just left it. And I am now with a better group of people. And I am glad I left that art community behind because, dear Lord, if I stayed, who knows what kind of person I will have been. But, to be fair, in general, there were a lot of people getting canceled for various things like grooming, horrible, horrible takes, making terrible statements about people or a race of people, or just in general saying something that's absolutely horrible, etc. Now, I'll give Twitter this one thing and this one thing only. It is extremely entertaining seeing people have the stupidest takes and the stupidest opinions ever met. It is extremely entertaining seeing people have the stupidest takes and the stupidest opinion. Oh my god! It is extremely entertaining seeing people have the stupidest takes and the stupidest opinions ever imagined. You've got Dr. Disrespect. We all know what he was canceled for. He was canceled for. Sorry. Oh, Lord. You've got Dr. Disrespect. We all know what he was canceled for. He was canceled for making. No, I'm reading that's not part of the script. It's improv. You got Dr. Disrespect. We all know he was canceled for allegedly sending inappropriate messages to a minor, but apparently that was all debunked. It doesn't matter. I don't like him anyways. And plus, he cheated on his wife. I don't know why he's not looked down upon for that at all, because that is a terrible thing to do, and he should be facing consequences for that. But he made a terrible post, or not a terrible. He made a stupid post talking about how he's playing chess and everyone else is playing checkers when he was accused of being a groomer. Everyone thought so, and I honestly still believe that he was. Either way, like I said, he cheated on his wife and somehow is not facing any, and he's not getting any backlash for that, which shows how bad of a place Twitter is, especially since he's getting all his praise and his help on Twitter because of people that support him through no matter what. You've got Dream. One big thing that people didn't like him for was he made a server that was just like one of Quackity's servers, and he basically copied him or something. I don't entirely remember, but it was funny seeing him type a whole, like, a 50-page essay about it, and no one was going to read that. No one was going to sit there and read all of what he had to say. Dream is honestly one of the worst parts of the Minecraft community. Granted, there are some OG YouTubers that have been pretty big problems. I don't really want to name them, but mainly because I don't remember what they did. But Dream and Dream Team and Dream SMP. Although some people in the Dream SMP are completely fine and aren't really that big of a problem, people like Dream and the Dream Team are just terrible people, very annoying, and they're just people that I don't like, and I know thousands, maybe even millions of others don't like. Sorry. He made this long thing. No one was going to read it. Let's be real. Why would you want to read that? You're on Twitter to doom scroll, not read someone's whole life story about how they wanted to make a Minecraft server and they're not copying anyone. Then you've got one of my favorite things to happen on Twitter. The absolute cherry on top, the best part of Twitter, of any controversy, of anything to ever happen, even in the last 5 centuries. You've got the beef between Dan TDM, the OG, the GOAT, the father of Minecraft YouTube, and KSI. Now, this has got to be the best thing to happen on Twitter. This controversy, I don't even know if you can call it a controversy, but it's one of the best things to happen on Twitter. It was most definitely the stupidest I've ever seen on Twitter. And I've known and seen some incredibly stupid people on that same app. It's honestly ridiculous. KSI dragged that shit for months. Dan made one post, and then he made a post about him hanging out with his family, being the good dad that he is. And then KSI copies it with some of his pictures. Like, you're not that guy, dude. Give up. Go home. Now, after all that, there's one last thing I want to mention, and it's the last thing. It's the last reason why I don't want to mention Twitter, and another reason why I do not like Twitter. I've mentioned this previously already in my first video back in my introvert. Uh, fuck. I mentioned this before previously in my introvert video. I'm suspended on Twitter indefinitely. I can't log back in my accounts most definitely. Accounts? My account is most definitely gone. Deactivated, it's deleted, it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Now, you might be asking, Echo, why are you suspended? What in God's green earth did you do on Twitter.com to get you suspended? And to that, I say, I have no idea. I don't know why I was suspended on Twitter. Now, usually it gives you a reason, and on the screen showing that I was suspended, it said that I was suspended for having an inauthentic account, which means I'm posting, I guess, like misinformation or manipulated like stuff, which I never posted. Um, I never posted any misinformation. I never posted anything that would change or manipulate people into thinking one thing when the other thing is actually true. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. And I can tell you this, I had that one account that was suspended. Which, by the way, this suspension is across all accounts. If I try to make a new account, it's going to get suspended as well. I can't get back on Twitter. I can never get back on Twitter. But I had that one account, and I can tell you what I tweeted on that account. You want to know what I tweeted? I'll tell you right now what I tweeted. Everything that I tweeted on that account. Here's what I tweeted on that account. All I did was complain about Fortnite and retweet arts and posts that I liked. That's it. That is all I tweeted about. Like, talk about free speech, right? Like, didn't Elon buy Twitter to get for like free speech? And plus, why did you buy that app for 40 billion or whatever? I can download the app for free. That's such an old and terrible joke. I'm so sorry. God forbid I complain about such a terrible game, by the way, and repost art that I think looks incredibly good, better than AI, which, by the way, is another thing I plan on talking about, but that'll be in a different video. Stay tuned. Now, I did say one thing before I got suspended, and maybe me saying this, maybe people mass reported me because they didn't like what I said. Maybe this is the stupid opinion. This is my stupid opinion, maybe, that is very entertaining to others because it's very bad. But I will say this is the last thing I posted before getting suspended. It was something along the lines of One Piece is mid. Oh shit.